Bitcoin has just consistently been trending up since we got that breakout that we were expecting on this YouTube channel. So shout out to those of you who have been tuning in and hitting up the like and subscribe button. Right now, I think that we are potentially encountering a little bit of a problem. I want to break this down for you to warn you guys about what I'm seeing right here if you are holding Bitcoin. The fact is right now, I mean, we've seen a really big breakout from this trend line right here. I mean, if we measure it from the breakout point to our current price, we're up by about 11% within only about 6 days, which is definitely pretty impressive, but it does mean that we are starting to approach resistance areas now. You know, we had our big move up on this day, the 27th of March, just 2 days ago. And since then, we've kind of continued to slowly trend higher. But this could be a sign of, you know, us losing a little bit of momentum, right? And we would see this quite clearly with indicators like the RSI, perhaps not on this time frame on the daily, but if we zoom into, for example, a 4 hour, it's abundantly clear right now that the RSI was moving up and now it started to actually move down. We're in a bearish divergence right now, and basically what that's showing us is that where before the market was rapidly gaining a lot of strength, and it actually kind of culminated with this pump up right here, which is again basically what happened on the 27th of March, just depending on your time zone. You know, we had that big peak right there, but since then the market stopped gaining strength, and that's important, right? Because when we have such big rallies like this, we've got to stay level-headed, right? We've got to understand that, like, we don't move up in straight lines forever. You know, this is even more powerful that I'm saying this to you guys now, because obviously I'm not shutting up about my long position that I'm so happy with. It's a ridiculous profit right now on Ethereum. It's more than 160% profit that I'm sitting in on that position right now. But that doesn't mean the market keeps on moving up in a straight line. And so naturally, even if our destined direction is to the upside, and I still think we have more upside room to go, and I'll show you why in just a minute, even with that in mind, you know, we do generally have corrections, and corrections can either mean that, you know, we move up and then we trade sideways, which by the way is what we're doing right now. I'm going to talk about that in just a minute. Or we kind of move up and we form our retracements and then we continue rising higher, right? These are the kind of typical corrections that we see inside of these trends. And again, just kind of zooming out a little bit, taking a look at where Bitcoin actually is at the moment, this is definitely an area where we should be expecting a little bit of a problem for Bitcoin, right? We saw some consolidation here when Bitcoin was originally rallying up to these price levels for the first time in its life. Then we had huge support hits of this level, and even pretty large rejections, right? So just off our current blue line, this blue dotted line represents our current price, where we're trading at right now. It's actually pretty damn reliable and consistent how much this has actually been weighing on the market. And so I think that's well worth considering, right? At the moment, we've got so much resistance right there. You know, does this thing slow down? Does it potentially reverse a little bit? These are the kind of questions that I want you guys to be asking, right? Because Bitcoin definitely could continue rallying up right now, but the more it rallies up right now, just the more unsafe and more dangerous it's going to get, right? It's really not going to be a good thing for the space, in my opinion, because you know, the faster we rise in more aggressive ways like this, the more likely we are, you know, like we had a rise like this. If we keep printing rises like this, we're very likely to get pullbacks like this, right? I mean, it's just it's the nature of what happens, right? We get extremely ridiculous rallies like this, we're gonna pay for it. And so, you know, this is one of the things that I really want you guys to be keeping in mind right now. If we zoom in just a little bit, we've actually got a pretty good picture, right? You know, I mean, some of these indicators that I've been watching are now finally starting to become more relevant in the market again, because you know, they've had some time to catch up, right? So the 1 hour Ichimoku card right now is showing us some beautiful support within the kind of 46k area. Honestly, I think that if Bitcoin does manage to drop down just a few $1,000s, this would be the best case scenario right now, because it would allow Bitcoin to retest some of its old resistance as new support. Again, just want to kind of highlight for you that this circle I'm drawing right here with a potential rise up, you know, if I kind of zoom out onto the 1 day time frame and show you where this circle has been drawn, you know, if I just kind of draw a box right here covering this circle and stretch it out, this is exactly the same area of resistance that Bitcoin was battling for a very long time. I mean, again, just to kind of refresh your memory on this, we dropped below this line on the 5th, dropped below this box on the 5th of January, and we didn't manage to break out until 81 days later. So that's closing in on 3 months. Very strong resistance indeed. You know, and so if we do end up kind of coming back down to that level for a bit of a back test, that would be phenomenal. That would serve as a correction. That would mean we find really nice support. And I think it would really be what, you know, kind of allows Bitcoin to just jetpack higher again and continue trending up, setting and breaking expectations. Let's take a quick look at the fear and greed index. Hasn't updated yet, unfortunately. Oh no, it has right here. It started to move down just a little bit, down to a reading of 56. We're going to get it updated again within a few hours. You know, I mean, it's not looking too bad, right? Like, I like the fact that it hasn't moved up too quickly. You know, it's showing me that, again, like I was saying in the last video, in the last live stream, actually, those of you who are subscribed would have seen that, and those of you who are tuned into our free Telegram channel, where you get even more analysis from myself and my team around the clock, free of charge. You'll also be notified about our live stream, so definitely take advantage of that if you want it. It's totally free, very, very easy to get in, and you get even more content from myself and my team, so it's a no-brainer. Definitely check it out, all with the first link in the description down below. But you know, right here, I think it would make a lot of sense if we did end up getting, you know, that kind of pullback at the moment. And we've got even more support from other indicators, right? Our 1 hour EMA ribbon has actually been fairly useful since this breakout, right? If we kind of look at when Bitcoin broke above this red line right here, you know, it's consistently fallen into this ribbon and actually resulted in really nice bounces. I mean, I don't even, let's count this real quick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 separate instances where we've fallen into the ribbon, whether we've fallen deep or just a little bit, but we fell into the ribbon 10 times in a row and have managed to find a bounce. Now, these are not huge, right? I mean, this is not something that you would necessarily want to trade, right? I mean, 1.5% to the upside on that high, even if you leverage that up 10 times, you're still only making 15% profit, right? This is not the kind of thing that you trade, in my opinion, but you know, it's still useful. Like, it still shows us quite a lot in terms of how these indicators are actually starting to potentially get a bit more useful. And this is even more exciting on timeframes like the 4 hour, right? Because again, this supports the very same idea that, you know, Bitcoin has a lot of support if it ends up dropping down right now. And to me, that is the single best thing on this chart at the moment. You know, I mean, it's got a good chance at continuing this rally up, even if it ends up dropping, which is the best scenario that you could possibly ask for. And I'm definitely very, very happy to see that. Now, the other thing that I also would like to draw your attention to is, you know, with our, you know, just kind of candle patterns right here, you know, we are looking at a potential kind of bull flag pattern where, you know, we are kind of rallying up, pausing a little bit before potentially getting ready to blast off higher. Again, this is another form of a correction. It's not actually perfect in my opinion. You know, I would like to see, you know, perhaps a pattern that's a little bit wider, you know, a little bit larger. This is actually quite a small pattern from low to high. It only stretches about 2.7%. It's a little bit too small for my liking. But I'm sorry, I've got a really runny nose right now. I have no idea why. But it's a little bit too small for my liking. But nonetheless, what we do have here is I mean, it's the same thing we've had before, is we kind of rally up, pause, trade sideways a little bit, rally up again, pause, trade sideways a little bit, potentially getting ready to rally up again. And I think, again, I mean, this is one of those good patterns right now. I mean, you know, it's quite small, so I don't know how much credit I can give it. But it could be the start of a better consolidation pattern, a better continuation pattern. So it's just something I'm keeping my eye on at the moment. This is on the 4 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, it looks even better. You know, but still, it's not quite perfect. In fact, if anything, this looks to me like it carried a lot of momentum up here, and now it's lost all of the momentum. And I'm sure the RSI is going to show that to us in very, very clear terms. Take a look at that, where the RSI jumped up from pretty much near neutral territories to extremely overbought territories like 88. And then, you know, I mean, it's just dropped right back down into neutral levels now. So I mean, that's showing us the strength fluctuations, where relative, because there's a relative strength index, right? Relative to the trend previously, we've shown a lot of strength immediately over here, and then relative to the trend previously, which was, you know, basically just this pump right here, relative to this pump, the market lost a lot of strength because it started trading sideways. And so, you know, the RSI helps us visualize these things. It's very important because a lot of people don't actually know how to use the RSI, but you know, hopefully you're learning a thing or two about that right now in this YouTube video. And so, you know, to me, that is definitely quite exciting. And, you know, one of the cool things we can do with this is actually just kind of measure, you know, how high this is. And then, you know, that's called a flagpole. And then we can extend this flagpole to our potential breakout point, which, you know, let's say is just at our current price, you know, which shows us, you know, for our next speculative leg until we kind of consolidate again, or until we pull back again, we could be looking at, you know, kind of the $51,000 level, which is actually very poetic, because if I zoom out and show you where that puts us right now, take a look at the 51K area. This is actually quite an important price level. We saw big, strong rejections from this area previously, just within our downtrend that we've just come out of, you know, we saw more resistance right here. We even saw support, right? We found some nice bounces off this level before. We found resistance quite consistently around this level. 51k is an important level. That's kind of the point of this video, right? I think that a lot of people are now just kind of starting to get quite bullish. I mean, you know, fear and greed index is not getting crazy right now, but look, it's going to settle in. And, you know, my job here is what I would try to be like a kind of responsible trader analyst is to ground us before we get excited, right? I mean, it's almost like we've got helium balloons attached to ourselves and it's kind of taking us higher with excitement. And I'm saying, no, fucking pop those balloons and come right back down to reality, because that's the only way you make money in these markets, right? Ethereum performing phenomenally well. It's actually now just breaking out of its resistance against Bitcoin. This is the key chart that I've been watching, which is Ethereum against Bitcoin, which means that right here it costs 0.0718 BTC to buy one Ethereum token. It's now just kind of breaking out. You know, it's definitely due for a correction because of this, but because this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, I do actually think that it should have some more room to rise. And on the dollar chart, this is Ethereum against the dollar. It's still performing really well. You know, I mean, again, compared to Bitcoin's 1% rise, Ethereum's up by 2.6%. I mean, it's not even close. Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin by a factor of 2.6x, which is huge. You know, I mean, it's more than doubling the performance of Bitcoin right now, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like I said, I'm in this beautiful trade right now. There are a few more opportunities that I've been eyeing up, and I did mention them on yesterday's live stream. So as I get closer to firming those up, and as I'm kind of considering those positions, VIPs as usual will be fully updated on what's going on there. I've managed to absolutely slay this Ethereum position where I've closed some really nice profits all the way up to, I don't even know how many percent, definitely above 100%, where I've closed some profits as well. Now sitting at 160%, maybe even a little bit higher than that. Stop loss is in a profit. I mean, it is the textbook trade. And if you want to continue to watch me trading in this market, which is super hot, there's a lot of opportunities right now, it's so exciting, then the way you can do so is by following these steps on screen by clicking on the first link in the description down below, then clicking on the @4flies button at the bottom of any post inside of 4flies Gold, and then clicking on send message to ask me how to join 4flies VIP. This is a very quick process. It'll take you less than 30 seconds. You'd actually already be done by the time you're hearing this if you started when I started talking about it. So it's a very quick process. You would already have the information. Just, you know, I mean, during this video we have a very quick response time. It puts you in a direct chat with me, but if I don't respond, one of my assistants will, and usually we'll respond in like 10 minutes. So it's extremely quick to get inside, and this is where you can watch absolutely everything I'm doing. We've had members killing it right now. Let me just see if I can pull up one of our recent kind of success pictures right here, just people kind of sharing their profits. Here's one that's relatively recent. Bear with me while I bring it up. This one's pretty cool for sure. Just a nice little modest 31%. This was on Cardano, shorting at $1, you know, which is, you know, one of the key plays that I mentioned would be a good idea. Recently, you know, here's another one. I think this is actually the same. Oh no, this is a different one. You can't really read that, but 68% profit. Really impressive gains. I've just been too lazy to share testimonials recently, but we've still had quite a few. This one's really cool. Take a look at this one. We've still had quite a few really nice messages coming in. Take a look at this one. Over 200% profit today in all positions. Absolutely killer. Definitely very impressive gains from these VIP members. And as you can see from these bankrolls, I mean, this is a $2,000 profit. This is a $1,000 profit. You don't need to be a millionaire to join 4flies VIP. I mean, it's definitely not cheap, don't get me wrong, but you know, you don't need to be swimming in cash, you know, to be able to join VIP and make good use out of it. And that's you know, something that has actually been quite useful for people of all bankrolls. So definitely do check it out by following these steps if you are interested in jumping inside and skyrocketing your trading potential. But let's bring us back to the chart right here. The good thing that I'm seeing for Ethereum is that, you know, I mean, like I said in yesterday's live stream, yes, Bitcoin's resistance is a little bit more spotty. It does have a little bit more resistance. It's a little bit more predictable. But with Ethereum, it's not really there. Like, I'm just not seeing any real resistance for Ethereum until it reaches the $3,600 area, which still means that I'm seeing at least, you know, kind of like another $150 of upward price action for Ethereum. And again, I know that might not sound like a lot, but I mean, $150 up from here is another 4%, and you know, for me that's a big deal, because 4% multiplied by my leverage, which is 8 times, is a 32% extra gain. I mean, that's going to put me at nearly 200% profit, or around 200% profit, which is phenomenal because that's a triple. Like, you know, any number plus 200% is going to triple it. And so that's absolutely beautiful. It's really, really cool. And so that's, you know, kind of where I'm looking to target for this market at the moment. The key thing that I'm just trying to keep in mind right now is that this is a very, very aggressive rally. And again, you know, I mean, I showed you this yesterday as well, but you definitely can form very aggressive rallies like this. It's not totally out of character for cryptocurrency coins, especially like Bitcoin and Ethereum. But, you know, it's also quite foolish, in my opinion, to expect that it stays this way forever. And that's why I'm starting to say, look, if you hold these coins, don't mislead yourself. Like, this is not a straight path to heaven. You know, we're always going to have pullbacks. We're going to have very nasty ones like this. You know, like huge downtrends like this. You better believe we're going to have more. You better believe they're going to be worse than this in the future, right? I mean, this is not the worst one we've ever seen. This is not the best one we've ever seen. We're going to have big pullbacks like this, and we're going to have smaller pullbacks like this, and other times we're going to have really small pullbacks like this or like this. They all come in different shapes and sizes, and right now I think we're due for a pullback that looks a little bit more like this, perhaps. You know, and that would kind of ideally, you know, take us right down to that 44, 46K level. Anywhere around there would be phenomenal. It would be such a good area for the market to drop down to. And if we do end up finding support from there, yeah, I mean, you can kiss this shit goodbye because it is flying to the bloody moon. If we manage to find support off levels like that, that is going to be extremely exciting. And you guys already know where I'm going to be trading everything right here. It's all going to be going down on Bybit. Check it out with the link in the description down below. This is the only exchange I use. It's the only exchange I've been using for years, and I am obviously a big fan of it. So if you do want to, I've just got a terrible internet connection right now, but if you do want to check out Bybit and get some free money, you're actually gonna, when you use my link and make your first deposit, you're gonna get some free cash deposited into your account as a thank you for using my link, and you can trade with that. You can do whatever you like with it. So definitely check it out if you like free money, because who the hell doesn't like free money? So definitely take advantage of it if you've got a spare minute. Again, that is a very quick process. And if you want to jump inside of VIP, see how these members have been able to pull off beautiful profits, but not just these profits, but just learn how to trade in safer, healthier ways, right? I mean, you know, you've sat through a bear market now, and if you already knew how to trade with good levels of discipline, if you already kind of understood had your bearings, you know, a few months ago, where would you be now, right? These are the kind of questions to be asking yourselves, because this is not like a, you know, you join VIP and all your problems are solved kind of deal. But if you actually put in the effort, you're going to be in a really good position to tackle these markets over these next few months. And these opportunities in crypto, they're plentiful. I mean, a few months is a killer amount of time to be in the space, let alone 1 year, where our yearly members actually even get free access into our advanced academy, which is like over 10 hours of content from me teaching you how I trade and analyze from A to Z. Very advanced theories covered in there. I'm actually going to re-record that course, by the way, and upgrade it all, and everyone who's got it already will get a free upgrade on it, but we're probably going to raise prices along with that upgrade as well. So again, that's another reason to take advantage of it now as well. And then also, yearly members getting phone calls with me. If you want to talk to me, get on the phone with me, talk about what's going on. You know, I'm usually able to offer some very useful insights, just because I've been trading these markets for a long time. I'm really well versed with the psychological battles. You better believe I have them as well. So, you know, I'm right there in the trenches with you. And if you want to have a phone call, you know, yearly members can basically have as many as they like. So, well worth checking out. But anyway, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this one. You know what to do if you have. Hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff if you have enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.